restricted free agent Quentin Grimes is signing a 1-year, $8.7 million qualifying offer to return to the Philadelphia 76ers. Sources tell Shams the news was broken about a half hour ago, and what we're going to do is give our reaction. Welcome on into NZ for 3, where we talk Sixers nonstop. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here, but let's get right down to business. So the story of the entire offseason was whether Quentin Grimes is going to take this qualifying offer or sign a longer-term deal with the Sixers. And Grimes' camp, they finally caved in. They did not get the money that they wanted, and they are deciding to just take one more year with the team and then hopefully get another, a bigger deal with another franchise, because the Sixers, they really did not seem that interested in giving Grimes a big contract. He was demanding $20+ million a year. And my first initial reaction, man, I'm glad the Sixers didn't cave into this. I'm glad the Sixers did not give another player a contract more than what they're worth, only for them to fall off and then have a trade liability. And now, is Quentin Grimes Tobias Harris? Heck no. Quentin Grimes is a great role player who really showed a lot of improvement when he got traded to the Sixers as a 3-level scorer, as a defender, as a playmaker. He is a fan. He's a great role player, man. And he would most likely be starting on the Sixers team. You got Maxey as point guard, Grimes shooting guard, PG at the 3, and then it's going to be interesting who starts at the 4, but then of course you got Embiid as the center. So Grimes, he would most likely start, especially to begin this season with Jared McCain being out for the first couple games, given they said that his thumb is going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Quentin Grimes is coming into a situation where he's most likely starting, and he has 1 year to prove himself, given that no other team could have gave him the money, since the Sixers were going to match it anyway. And the Sixers, they did not want to overpay for him. And I guess the main con of all of this is that no trade clause. I mean, Quentin Grimes, he is young. He has a valuable skill set as a floor spacer and really improved as a 3-level shot creator. He definitely will get some attention around the league and will be a valuable trade asset. However, that no trade clause, that kind of throws a wrench into things, because it'll make it a lot harder for the Sixers to find a deal, because it does depend on whether Grimes wants to go to that team in the first place. And if he is flexible on that no trade clause, if he just wants to say, hey, just get me out of Philly, let me go and go prove myself on another team, and they get a good contract with that team, then that will be a viable option for him. But according to Sixers Adam, shout out to him who did the math regarding the money he will get, this is the best offer a team can give to Quentin Grimes if he waives his veto power and is traded during the season to that team. The team wouldn't inherit his bird rights, so using non-bird, they can start at 120% of his $8.7 million qualifying offer, and those bird rights basically. So if Grimes, if he sticks with the Sixers and the Sixers want to sign him again, then they have those full bird rights, meaning that they are able to give him more money and allow, go over the salary cap a little bit. And if he gets traded to another team, basically from what I'm understanding, he would not be able to get those bird rights for another team. Let me just confirm this real quick, though. So Sixers keep full bird rights on Grimes. If he gets traded, however, his new team would not inherit those. So there's no salary cap advantage to trading for Grimes, and in turn for him to waive his veto power. So it's been a pretty intense, confusing situation this entire summer. Grimes, I'm glad he's back on the Sixers, because I think he pairs really well next to Tyrese Maxey and Embiid, but it's I just don't really feel that hyped up about it, if you know what I mean. It's not like the Sixers are all of a sudden by far the biggest contenders in the Eastern Conference. It doesn't really matter that they brought Grimes back, because are you really winning a championship anyway with Joel Embiid's injury problems, with Paul George's injury problems? It just didn't make much sense from the Sixers' perspective to lock up a guy who is a shooting guard, combo guard player, can maybe play the 3 sometimes, who knows, have him play next to Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe, but you're also paying Joel Embiid and Paul George as well. So why are you going in on this player who will not really be a long-term piece, given that you already have a solidified guard rotation? Granted, it is a luxury for the Sixers to have 4 legit guards. I would just be more excited about it if the Sixers were, if I could really respect them as true contenders. I just can't, because Embiid and Paul George, they're not healthy. They're not going to be on the court consistently, historically speaking. And I think I would be a lot more excited about it if I felt more good about the Sixers foundation in general. Yes, Quentin Grimes, he is a piece that fits well with the team, but considering all the logistics around whether they're actually contenders or not, that it just dims it a little bit. And yeah, the no trade clause, that kind of stinks. But at the same time, I'm glad they just didn't lock up another guy who was going to take up a big chunk of the salary cap and underperform, because who knows if Quentin Grimes is even going to be even a fraction of the player that we saw him be for that last half of the season when we traded for him, when he was balling out. Like I always say, I mean, he almost single-handedly ruined the Sixers' tank, because he was dropping 40-plus points on the Houston Rockets, who were a top seed in the Western Conference last season. So Grimes, he's a legit NBA player. I enjoyed watching him play, and yes, on paper, he does fit well with the Sixers, slotting into that shooting guard spot. I would prefer Grimes to start, given that Jared McCain, he is smaller, and he's a little bit less competent as a defender. I think Grimes is definitely, bigger, stronger, and can definitely move his feet better on the perimeter. And he's also a fantastic floor spacer as well. And having Jared McCain be your sixth man is a pretty big luxury. I mean, Sixers fans were always complaining about not having enough bench depth. But with Grimes, now you do have that. If you have Jared McCain, if you have VJ Edgecombe on the bench. So when it comes to the short term, this is fine. It's not perfect for either situation. You prefer the Sixers that they could have gotten, tried to trade for him, tried to trade him for another team, but having that no trade clause, if that wasn't there, then it would look a lot better for the Sixers. But I mean, for Grimes, at the same time, you're trying to get paid this offseason. Now you go on another prove-it deal, especially on a team where, there's Paul George, Embiid, and Maxey. They're going to be taking up the majority of the shots. And will Quentin Grimes, will he be given, a bigger role on the team when it comes to the shot diet? Possibly. I mean, who knows what Nick Nurse is going to do this season. Hopefully he doesn't play Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry constantly. There's that. But is he just going to be a guy who kind of just sits in the corner and is a role player? Because that's what Quentin Grimes is. I mean, yeah, he was great last season, but he is a role player at the end of the day. And I'm glad the Sixers did not cave in. They did not cave in, give him more money than what he is worth and be tied down to that contract. Because who knows? He could get injured. He could underperform a lot. And you would have another situation where you would have a guy eating up a bunch of the cap space and not really be a valuable trade asset. Now, there have been rumors about the Sixers trading, or just ideas floating around social media about the Sixers trading Grimes to the Houston Rockets for Tari Eason, and I'm not gonna lie, dude, that could be the best possible situation for the team. I mean, Grimes, he's from Houston. Fred VanVleet, he's not the best defender. They could use another backcourt pairing. I mean, VanVleet, Grimes, Amen Thompson. I don't know who else could be slotting. Oh, well, KD, and then have Steven Sengun as your center. I mean, that would be a fantastic starting lineup for the Rockets. And the Sixers, they solved their power forward issue by getting Eason, who's 6'8", freak athlete, fantastic defender, 12 points, 6 rebounds a game. He can slot in at that power forward position for the Sixers. He's a young player. He could fit next to Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain for the future. That would be a dream scenario for both sides. I mean, that works out so well for both the Rockets and the Sixers. I hope that does happen, to be honest. That would be awesome. I don't think that will really have a problem with Grimes getting his no trade clause waived too, because he's from Houston. Why wouldn't you not want to play in your hometown? So I mean, there's that. So I guess the other pro to this entire debacle is the fact that the Sixers, there is one logical trade scenario they could explore. Maybe the Rockets, they want to reshuffle their cards a little bit during the season and really maximize their window with Kevin Durant. Then they can make a swing for Grimes and really add some more firepower. And that would be, and the Sixers, they get another young player for the future who fits a positional need. That would be great, but that's pretty much all I got, man. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the Quentin Grimes deal?